All right, all right. Now we can get started for you. Now we can get started for you. Uh, so yeah, tier list 6.1. 6.1. And as we said, some characters are not going to get ranked due to like lack of experience. Some of them never played against, period. You guys can see here, yeah, like echoes and characters I'm not sure about. Bowser Jr., Lucario, and Lucas I might not rank, but the rest of these characters over here I do intend on ranking. So yeah, with that said, let's get started. Little Mac, F tier. Awful character. He does have some silly moves for sure, but he's only a ground character. No aerial game whatsoever. Camping platforms, incredibly effective against them. And honestly, this new footstool farming, or whatever people decided to call it, actually hurts him like even more, because apparently you can like footstool farm out of like KO punch, for example. But yeah, Lil Mac, F tier. Kirby is going to be in this tier too. Really bad aerial mobility. Forward throw combo sometimes get interrupted by platforms. Like low damage output, overall bad speed. Doesn't really have too much redeeming qualities. He did get buffed, but the thing is, I don't think the buffs mattered too much. Like, I feel like a lot of times people are like, if a character gets buffed or nerfed, they overvalue it. Like, he still has the same core issues. So, yeah. It can be a huge difference between getting buffed and getting something, you know, really small or something quite small, or get something that absolutely changes the character. So yeah, overall, like, yeah, Kirby still feels like one of the worst characters in the game. He can be fun to troll people with, though. Isabel also feels like a lot of these characters I always pretty much have always had like in like one of these two tiers. But yeah, Isabel also feels quite bad. A lot of her like setups. I feel like the more experience you have against the character, the worse a lot of these things becomes. Like the mine on the ground, for example. Yeah, I don't really see how this character is gonna climb significantly higher. But overall, I will say as well though that the gap between characters in this game feels quite small. Like, I think a lot of characters, almost all characters in this game, actually I think all characters in this game can make upsets given the right player and against the right matchup. The footstool tech is probably going to impact quite a bit, but it's obviously too early to really say how much. But some characters like Mario, for example, looks like he will, you know, suffer more from it than other characters. But yeah, time will tell. Time will tell. This one, some people might not agree with, but I still think K-Roll is bad. He's better. His Nair does help quite a lot. The Nair change is actually quite big. But besides that, I still don't think this character is, you know, anything special. A lot of the core issues are still there. The Nair helps with one of them, which is, you know, landings. But I mean, he's still a super big target. You can combo him for days. His recovery is also not nearly as good as people, you know, first said. But yeah, I think K-Roll, he might go up to E tier. He might go up to E tier. But for now, I'll put K-Roll at F tier. Yep, I saw Tweak play K-Roll. The thing is, another thing I feel like a lot of people, how do you say? you know, besides, you know, changes, like patches and stuff, that legit can change characters. But a lot of people are like, let's say let's say a bad character that is unchanged, and then someone like tweak plays that character. A lot of people, it's almost like they think that this character has new tools. If the character was hypothetically unchanged, then it's just that people see a great player playing said character and they're like, oh, this character is so much better now. But it's like, no, you have someone like Tweak that can play any character, and now it just is more attention to the character. And also, as I said, like, it's so many characters, it's impossible. Like, if we look back at this game 10 years from now, not a single person right now is going to have every character correctly ranked. Correctly. If you even can make a list like that. Because a lot of characters will be so close to each other that it's, like, really, really subjective. Yeah. I always encourage people to, you know, like, stay open-minded. Ike was, like, considered one of the best due to Leo winning. And if you said that, no, Ike is not that good, people are like, oh, are you crazy? But Leo, he won with Ike, so he must be one of the best characters in the game. That's the only possibility. So, yeah, I highly encourage people to be open-minded. And with that said, I'm also trying to be open-minded regarding character rankings. All right, let's continue. I'll say Pit, E tier. Like, the character is quite solid. Like, by solid I mean, like, a lot of the moves are, like, they are all right. Like, the character doesn't have anything that is, like, super bad, but also doesn't have anything that's super good. Mediocre all around, but with the right player, I could clearly see upsets happen with this character too. Like, another good thing can also be, like, multi-hits being, you know, parries being worse against that. I think that's actually a little bit of an underrated attribute. Multi-hit moves. Like, let's say Pikachu, for example. Oh, so many multi-hit moves that you don't really parry against that. But yeah, Pit, yeah, I agree. A bit too honest, and yeah, that sadly doesn't really work in this game. Unless your honesty is really fucking good. Like, a character like Lucina, for example. Quite honest, for sure, but really, really good. I'll probably put, let's see, and as I said, I might change placements within tiers and stuff, but yeah, Incineroar, he feels like an E tier, really, really big, like, a lot of the same issues as K-Roll, big targets, comboed for days, bad offstage. Revenge is a quite good mechanic for him. Like, it clearly helps if you have all your reads on point, but the character is so slow, and really exploitable weaknesses. So yeah, Incineroar, yeah, E tier sounds reasonable. Dr. Mario probably feels like E tier too. Possibly this character will go up in the future. But honestly, like, some of my issues with some of these characters is, like, they almost feel pointless to play when you have, like, a character that is quite similar but just better. Like, why play Dr. Mario when Mario is there? I know there are differences, but at the end of the day, it's still kind of like why Dr. Mario over Mario, or why Marth over Lucina. It's just like, I don't know. It probably means that a lot of people, myself included, might underrank them a bit just because they feel so pointless to play, even though, yes, they are not identical. So I'm very open to the fact that maybe he should be a bit higher, and that I underrate him due to the fact that Mario is just, a better version. Because he's a doctor. Yeah, dude. He's a doctor. Corrin, feel like E tier as well. I wish this character was better. I think Corrin is quite fun. Even though no character is like Corrin exactly, it's so many sword fighters in this game. So she kind of falls into this dilemma as well, where it's like, why play her when you have so many better sword characters? This character is still slow as fuck. I mean, Ultimate has been out for a year, and it still feels like she's stuck in Smash 4 engine. If this character was just quite a lot faster, that alone would change so much. Because Corrin does have a lot of good moves, like her Nair, up air, down tilt, back air. Like, she does have a lot of good moves. So if you just made her a little bit faster, that alone would change so much. Yeah, Pin, not nearly as good as in Smash 4. Really slow. Like, yo, Village, thank you for 13 months, buddy. Yeah, I would like to see this character changed to be faster. That would make her much more scary. Much more scary. Ganon, probably E tier as well. He's like one of the characters that haven't like some of the bad characters have gotten a bit better, but if I remember correctly, Ganon has not really been falling into that category. And as time moves on, I feel like his weaknesses are gonna be more like characters like Ganon. They always have this thing when the game is new that, how do you say? I feel like the more perfection happens in a game, the more characters like Ganon will fall off. But before that, and you only need like, less openings to take a stock, then they might seem a bit better than they actually are. But I feel like this character will fall. Like right now, exactly like in this meta today, maybe he would be a little bit higher due to like people, not being that amazing yet. But I feel like as time moves on, he will just like kind of keep falling. So I put Ganon here. Same core issues as the other big characters. Comboed for days, hard to get out of disadvantage. Maybe this footstool thing will actually help some of the heavies a bit though, since they can have a hard time to get out of disadvantage. So yeah, that's something I could see help them out a bit. But yeah, I honestly don't want to like read into too much into that footstool farming or whatever it was called. Literally because he was like talked about a lot yesterday. Sadly, I will put Mewtwo here as well. Maybe it's a little bit higher. But yeah, I mean, Mewtwo's, I don't understand why he's so big and so light. It's like, when you're that big, at least make them survive long. But it's like, nope, He's gonna be massive. His tail is roughly reaching across the entire planet, and his still is equally as heavy as Pikachu and Olimar. Good job, good job. Also gets nothing from grab, which kind of sucks. A lot of characters gets at least something from grab. Mewtwo doesn't. Yeah, I feel bad for Mewtwo. I feel bad. But he's like 1 or 2 actual changes away from being a lot better. So, with patches still being a thing, it's a character that very clearly could rise quickly with just some small changes. Well, by getting nothing out of grab, I mean combos. Combos is what I was referring to. DK probably here as well. Maybe DK would go a bit higher actually, but I'll still put him here for now. But he actually might be a little bit better than people think. His dash attack is actually really good. Like dash attacks being good moves for characters is actually such a good thing. Because like, especially in this game where you don't get the shield up like as quickly and a lot of input delay, dash attacks to like disrupt the flow and just kind of like break through is honestly such a good tool to have. So that's good for him. His grab still does, like, I know it's not smash 4 DK killing with rage at like 30, but he still can get quite a bit from grab and on occasion kill quite early as well. Like you grab someone, jump up on a platform, and then do cargo up air. That's like how Ken lost against what was his tag now again? The DK player to beat Ken at Congo Saga. So like, I mean, you can still get on occasion early kills or grabbing, go off the level and throw them outwards. Runes was his tag, yeah. So I mean, DK still can kill early. Dash attack is good, so I could see this character potentially going a bit higher. Yeah, this is one of the characters that I probably think like might go up a little bit. Unlike some of the other heavies, I think DK actually might go up a little bit. All right. Let's see. Wait, where's that character? Oh. I'll probably put Robin bottom of D tier, maybe top of E tier. But I think this character is a little bit underrated. A lot of good moves actually. A lot of good moves for this character. It's scary. Like, you can actually die quite early to this character. Arc Fire, really good for ledge trapping. I could see with the right player this character climbing up a little bit in the future. Yeah, Arc Fire at ledge is super good. Arc Fire at ledge is super good. A lot of like, yeah, strong projectiles, strong moves overall. Recovery can be quite annoying at times because the up B, even though it reaches far, it goes quite slow. So it's like a much worse Inkling up B pretty much. The fact that it's so much slower means that in a lot of situations you can actually react despite the input delay and just throw out a long-lasting move and you guarantee a hit over and over. And yeah, you can run out too. Yeah, that's important to notice. But still, I could see this character potentially climb up even higher in the future. Oh, Cloud, I would probably put somewhere around here as well. You know, falling a bit from Smash 4. But, I mean, he still does have some solid moves for sure. But Cloud, in a game where most character gets back for free, being easy to 2-frame and having a bad recovery overall is actually such a big bad thing for him. Honestly, I wish it was more characters like Cloud, where you actually can like kill them off the stage. But that's not the case. So for Cloud, that's a huge weakness. He also can have a really he has a really hard time killing. Limit does not last for very long. I think it's like 15 seconds. So for a lot of characters, they can camp it out quite easily. So that's rough for him. So dying easily himself and having a hard time killing. So yeah. Cloud, you have fallen from your glory days. Yeah, Limit also, yeah, doesn't kill that early. And it's still very hard to land. Zelda, probably somewhere around here. Actually, I'm not sure. Zelda feels a bit hard to rank. Like, sometimes I'm like, oh, she should probably go even lower. Sometimes maybe a little bit higher. Phantom is really, really good. But it's like, for sure, Zelda's best tool. In neutral, in advantage, like when you have someone like by the ledge, for example, Phantom is really good. And yeah, as I said, really good in neutral too. Uppy can at times be a good surprise move, and it's quite strong. But she feels a little bit too predictable. Like, a lot of other characters, I feel like they have a little bit more different tools to play around with, where Zelda is like very set with one tool, which is a good one, but I don't feel like it's nearly good enough to like really justify a much higher placement. Zelda's backer, it is quite strong for sure. Actually, it's very strong, but it's a hard move to land against good players, I feel like. Yeah, I saw Mewtwo King put Zelda very, very high up. The thing is, like, I'm not gonna say that, oh, Mewtwo King is wrong, I'm right. Like, as I've said, I encourage people to be open-minded. Like, all these characters I've ranked, I'm open to the fact that, you know, a year or two from now, maybe none of these characters are remotely correctly ranked. I don't think it will be that wrong, but I'm open to the fact that it could happen. It could happen. I'm not gonna, you know, pretend that, oh, I absolutely know for certain where to rank every single character. I think people that have that mindset are normally the ones that are the most wrong when it comes to stuff like tier lists. Let's see. This character is one of the hardest for me to rank. I was almost thinking of not ranking Bayo, but this time, I think this is the first time I actually ranked Bayo on one of my lists. And yes, I know I myself lost to a Bayo, a DreamHack. But it really does feel like this is like one of the characters that your matchup experience against other characters does not really translate over to Bayo whatsoever. And as someone that didn't really play Smash 4, obviously, it's going to be a hard time playing as the character. But yeah, I feel like Bayo you basically play a very, very non-committal game. You can't like use projectiles pretty much. Uh, and a lot of her moves is like, yeah, don't jump, don't commit, camp, wait, and make it hard as hell for her to kill. So you can't like keep swinging against her, you can't keep jumping. It felt like the more boring you play, the higher chance you have of actually beating her. But yeah, a lot of her toolkit obviously super heavily nerfed, but probably not as bad as people say. I don't know. Piranha Plants probably around here as well. He has been rising a little bit in my eyes compared to like when he came out. Mainly his ledge trapping is really, really good. Spike ball can be incredibly good when people are above you, even though it might not be as good any longer due to footstool farming now. Like Plant's issue is a little bit like Horin, where some areas you feel like you're stuck in Smash 4. Like his landing on some of his moves is so long that you wonder if they had enough time to finish the character. Galactic Hot Dog, thank you for the 5 months with Twitch Prime, buddy. And Anthony Dippy, thank you for the 3 months with Twitch Prime. But yeah, Plant up here mainly due to his ledge trapping. Yeah, I don't think I missed a notification there. It was just twice from Anthony. But yeah, thank you so much, buddy. I'm not sure if the footstool thing works on Spike Ball. I was just like, it might do. Like, it's probably a lot of moves that we haven't tested, period. It was just like something that crossed my mind. Yeah, his backer has, yeah, a lot of his moves just had like unreasonably much lag. Landing or just like end lag, period. What should we rank now? Puff maybe? Maybe Puff here. The character is... Puff is a bit better now. For sure. More reliable ways of landing rest. Forward throw being buffed as well is honestly very big. Because beforehand, Puff's forward throw sent you like quite a lot upwards, while now it sends more forward and less upwards. So it's like, edge guarding wise, it's much better for Puff. I could see this character climbing even higher. Like, a lot of people had Puff as like bottom 5 or bottom 10 at best beforehand. This still might be underrating Puff. This still might be underrating Puff. Yeah, I actually could see this character climb up quite a bit further in this. But for now, I think I'll put her here. It's still like a kind of significant jump. Yeah, more ways of getting rest. More reliable ways of getting edge guards. So yeah, Puff, sadly, got buffed. But yeah, this is a character I for sure can see climb even higher. Maybe it's, you know, my heart wants to rank Puff down here. But yeah, we'll see. Belmonts probably around here as well. Honestly, I feel like Belmont, they're actually quite a lot harder to play than people give them credit for. Of course, if you play like Elite Smash and people spam, it's not going to look that way. But I feel like it actually does take quite a lot of skill to keep opponents out with them. Their aerials requires more precision than other characters. So it's a very hard character to play. And once you get in against them, it can be quite annoying to, like, you know, reset to neutral. They do have some get off me moves. Up B, for example, up B out of shield is quick. Down tilt can be pretty good to get out of corners. But yeah, they are big targets, comboed, edge guarded. So it's like when they work, they feel like they work very well. But when they don't work against some matchups, it feels very rough. And ledge trapping with Belmonts is also really good. Also a character I could see climb higher if you get the right player that really, really optimize the zoning with the Belmonts. Let's see. Diddy might be around here as well. I will admit it's not really a character I've played much against at all, especially not for a very, very long time. But he feels better than a lot of the heavies due to partly his ledge trapping with Gordos. It's actually like legit very good. And his recovery is significantly better than a lot of the other heavies. So that also helps a lot. And he's not the heaviest, but he's very, very close to the top. So he's very hard to kill. He's very hard to kill for many characters. And since he's not, you know, nearly as exploitable off stage, that actually means that his heaviness actually helps him a lot. Yeah, I think, yeah, DDD probably around here. Falcon probably in this tier too. Like he's solid. He's solid. But yeah. His dash animation quite bad. Off stage quite bad. And I feel like people give Falcon too many free kills with spot dodges and they get hit by single hit nair and E, for example. So as time progresses, I think it's going to be a bit harder for Falcon to actually like get his kills. I don't know. Falcon feels weird in this game. I wish they just made his like movement quite a bit more, you know, solid all around. But I mean, he's not bad. He's not bad. Yeah, he does have pretty good combos. Having up B to like, you know, make people not able to use spam shield on platforms. It's risky, but it's still quite good. A lot of characters have the issue where when people shield on platforms, they don't really have any good tools. Like Wario has Bite, for example, which is amazing. But a lot of characters have like, yeah, basically nothing. So even though the option is risky, since it's strong, it's like legit still a good option, I think. Ridley probably somewhere around here as well. Sometimes I feel like Ridley is super good, and sometimes I'm like, yeah, this character is not that good. Like, he has so much range on some of his moves, and a lot of Ridley's moves are legit super good. His down tilt is super good, up tilt, all his tilts are actually fantastic. A lot of his aerials are really good too. Nair, back air, fair, up air. It's only down air that is not good. He is quite exploitable off stage though, even though his recovery got improved. Side B, pretty good to deal with shields too. I don't know, this... Even though I have played Ridley myself quite a lot, I don't know. He's like, when you get all of his toolkit to work, he feels better than this. But a lot of the times it feels like, against certain characters, certain matchups, it's just so hard. But yeah, I like Ridley. I could see him also move up quite a bit in the future. This might be controversial. But Ike is probably somewhere around here. Maybe a little bit higher. But he feels a bit too one-dimensional. A little bit like when we talked about, like, let's say Zelda, for example. You have, like, mainly one tool you really, really want to work with. But the character is very slow, one-dimensional. Off stage, quite a lot of characters can do work against them as well. He does, however, kill very early when you do get the openings with him. He still gets stuff from grab. But I feel like it's probably one of these characters. Like, when Leo started winning tournaments with this character, I was already, even though when people were like, oh, Ike is like S tier, I was like, this character feels like it's a character that will fall off. Too slow, too predictable, and this might be like an overvalue the weaknesses. But yeah, that's what my current opinion is. The thing is with Ike, I feel like since he is that linear, he was very very easy to pick up. It's like one of the metas that was like the easiest to figure out, since he is linear. Sometimes these characters are also super good, but sometimes it's more that it's just easier to get results with them early on. And yeah, as I said earlier, these three characters probably will be unranked. But since people might have tuned in recently, yeah, those three characters will probably remain unranked due to not nearly enough experience against them. Sheik would probably be somewhere around here. I will admit that I personally, and I think a lot of people feel the same way, maybe underrated Sheik. Her damage output can at times be very bad. To be fair, a lot of the times you can chain enough moves, together, where you actually get still decent damage. And one of the big strengths with Sheik is that regardless of where you hit your opponent with Sheik, you can often carry the opponent across the stage. So you consistently get ledge trap situations, and Sheik is very good at ledge trapping. Really good tools for it. So that's good for the character. But yeah, killing especially can be very hard. She does have a few things she look for in terms of trying to get kills. Drag down up airs, for example. But it feels like with more experience against Sheik, it's probably gonna be easier to play around those options. But I mean, she's not bad. She's not bad. But the killing and the times damage output, it's big enough of weaknesses to probably put her low C tier for now. Meta Knight would probably be somewhere around here as well. This is probably a controversial opinion, but I feel like it's mainly because like no one is really playing him at the moment. But I promise, if someone like Tweak or Leo started playing Meta Knight tomorrow, by 4 or 5 days after that, people will put Meta Knight here, or here at least, because that's just how like a lot of people work. It's like, oh, Tweak played this character. Oh, he's. It's how it works a lot of times. Now, probably a lot of people think like, oh, I would never think that. Ike, K-roll, 50 characters in the cast. I personally think Meta Knight could be around here. Having multiple jumps is really, really good. Of course, edge guards in this game is hard. A lot of characters have very busted recoveries. But having that many jumps, going out super early is it's a good tool to have. So you don't run you don't run as much of a risk of getting like counter edge guarded, for example. Drag downs can be quite good with the character. Oh yeah, Leo did play actually. Yeah, that's true. He did play a few games of Meta Knight at Summit. I actually think if Leo exclusively played Meta Knight, he would be seen as significantly better than people currently look at it as. But I mean, like, Meta Knight is like one of these characters, like, I think characters that used to be incredibly good, so Meta Knight in Brawl, in his Smash 4 he was also like legit really strong. I think when you take these characters and they are not as good any longer, I think it's very easy to like overvalue the weaknesses and underrate the better parts of the character. You can say that for almost any character with Leo, though. Yeah, no, the thing is, it is true. It is true that a player like Leo or Tweak or Nairo or, you know, Sakurai, yes, I do believe they could pick pretty much any character and get people to believe the character's way better than they are. But that's also what I'm trying to say, that for a lot of people that are like 100% set in stone, this character, like, oh, your tier list sucks. Oh, how do you rank this character 47th instead of 43? The thing is, a lot of these people that are so set in stone, all it takes, literally all it takes, is for someone like them to pick up a character and they will tell you that, oh, how can you believe this character is not this good? Haven't you seen Leo? Haven't you seen Tweak? So that's what I'm trying to say. I do know I repeat it a lot, but it's so many people in, like, you know, Twitch chats, Twitter, Reddit, that actually act hella toxic. I've already seen quite a few people act hella toxic here in this chat because they're like, oh, how do you rank this character like this? Like, I played Elite Smash. Like, how dare you? It's like, I'll have my own opinion. I'll have my own opinion. And unlike these people, I literally say that, you know, I'm probably wrong about a lot of these characters. But I also don't believe any person on the planet would be right on all their picks. Anyway, let's move on. Banjo, probably somewhere around here as well. Yeah, Banjo, like, by far his best tool is actually, to no surprise, Wonder Wing. Incredibly strong, goes through all moves. If you have a good read on your opponent throwing out a move, just doing Wonder Wing, absolutely fantastic. If you're off the level, you get back for free with Wonder Wing, so it's really good too. But overall, his neutral feels a little bit too one-dimensional. And his zoning, I feel like, is not quite as good as, you know, some other characters with similar-esque playstyles. And stuff like his down throw, for example, obviously it's quite a bit worse too when you play against people with great mashing. And also, like, some of his moves are not the fastest either. But the character is still relatively new. So, and we haven't really seen too much from Banjo so far. Falco might be around here as well. Falco actually has very strong punishes. That's clearly his main tool. But some of his moves don't work as amazing. They either have kind of weird bad hitboxes and don't land, or you can DI out of certain stuff, like the up throw, for example. Up throw and back throw, you can DI it, so they get significantly worse in a lot of situations. But I mean, the punish game alone is like a great attribute for the character. He's quite slow and exploitable off stage. So for now I see him as a C tier. Luigi, probably somewhere here as well. Super strong punish game. Also very exploitable off stage though, for being ultimate. Grab is also not the fastest, but the reward is so high. Also not the fastest in the air by any means. So yeah, this is like a very extreme character. Really good strengths, really bad weaknesses. Young Link, probably somewhere around here as well. The character is a little bit inconsistent, mainly due to how the bombs work. A lot of times you kind of have to hope RNG working out in your favor when you use Young Link's bomb, which obviously is not a good thing. You want your move to work properly, right? But that's not always the case with Young Link. Can be quite hard to kill with the character too, and his up B loses out to a lot of moves. But I mean, quite fast, projectiles are good, boomerang being safe point blank against regular shields. So a lot of that stuff is good. Toon Link, probably here as well. I think I do end up having him one spot higher than Young Link due to better consistency with bombs and easier time killing. But this character might go up a little bit in the future. He might go up in the future. And now I might rank... Actually, it's one character I forgot to rank. Wii Fit Trainer. This character we should have ranked some time ago. I just noticed it. Where will I put Wii Fit? Uh, let's put Wii Fit around here. Yeah. Oops. No, not that high. Yeah, let's put Wii Fit there. Yeah. Yeah, no, I was supposed to rank this character. I just literally missed it from the list. Yeah, no, Wii Fit is solid. Wii Fit is solid. But I think this character relies a little bit too much on people getting impatient. This character, when you have deep breathing, just camp. Just camp. I might undervalue Wii Fit a little bit because this is actually like the weird character in the game that I, for some reason, run into every tournament. An Inkling, it feels like Inkling does good in the matchup, for sure. So maybe that's me underrating the character due to that. But yeah, this character, it feels like camp them out super hard when they have deep breathing. And then it's more, you know, time to go in afterwards. All right. Where were we? Okay, yeah, now we're getting to the character. Of the characters I do rank, this is one of the characters I'm the most or least certain about. So this is a huge question mark for me. Yeah, this was a character I was very clearly considering not ranking alongside with Lucas, Bowser Jr., and Lucario. Partly because I have never really been sitting down and tried to like study and theoretically think of exactly how well all the optimization stuff can be with desyncs. I think this is arguably the character that people on average have the least knowledge about, since the character is super unique and most people never play the character, never really studied the character. It's much easier to understand like a lot of the other characters even if you don't play them. So yeah, this is a huge question mark after me. A lot of my placement here is more based on looking at, you know, good Ice Climbers players playing. Like Big D, for example, that got good wins against Proto and Sakurai in recent months. Proto was like legit like 2 weeks ago or something. But Sakurai was at main stage back in September. So it's more like looking at like, you know, him playing against good players and trying to understand like how the character works, their damage output. But this character feels like it's clearly a lot of room to grow. Bowser probably somewhere around here as well. Yeah, Bowser probably around here as well. Super heavy, lives for a very long time. Side B, really good to beat shields. Strong ledge trapping. Up B out of shield is crazy fast. F tilt, great for 2-framing. But he can have a hard time getting walled out. He is weak off stage, both to edge guarding and 2-framing. So yeah, probably put him here for now. This might be a controversial pick as well. I actually don't know, but I'll put Diddy Kong here. I don't think Diddy is nearly as bad as a lot of people say. A little bit when we talked earlier about, I think it was Cloud and Meta Knight, I think. When it comes to characters that have previously been very good, it feels like once they're not as good, people underrate the character. This also could be because one of the players I have played against the most is a Diddy Kong player from the city, so I've gotten to see and experience the character more. The character feels still legit good. His neutral game is really good. Side B, great way to deal with shields. Pretty quick way to interrupt the flow as well. His recovery is not nearly as bad as people say. It's just like a lot of people that plays Ultimate, probably Smash 4 as well, that if you have a character that occasionally dies off the level, people think that the recovery is absolutely horrible. Truth to be told, I think most people have never learned how to recover, since most character kind of like gives you recovery options for free. So when you have to use a character that requires some type of skill with recoveries, then people think that their recovery is unusable. That might sound mean, but that's actually what it looks like to me many times when people are like, oh, if this character is off the level, they're dead. It's like, yes, if you're very bad at recovering, then yes, then you will die every time. But that's you, not the character being that bad off the level. So I think these type of like weaknesses are incredibly exaggerated by people that are not that good. Yo, fellas, thank you for the 9 months, buddy. Diddy, though, like, one of my core issues with Diddy is I feel like a lot of his, like, how do you say, punishes that gives you the most reward are actually very gimmicky. So if you know how to DI, if you know how to like play around these situations, they should not really work often at all. But you still can use like options with less reward, but they are consistent. So I think for Diddy players, it's a lot of like kind of like pick your poison in a sense, where do I pick the option that is like consistent giving less damage, or do I sometimes throw in this option that could give me a lot, but it probably shouldn't work. Matros, thank you for the 7 months. After Diddy, Samus maybe? Yeah, I think Samus. A character that's been climbing the list quite a lot for me compared to like the very early days. Samus zoning game actually looks incredibly annoying for a lot of characters to get through. Ledge trapping with down B, very good as well. This is clearly a character that can keep, you know, going up even more. Being off level and you get like a full charge shot many times as well is really strong too. The move itself isn't like killing early, but it does give a lot of damage and it's always like a huge threat. Yeah, I think this character can keep climbing, and someone like Quicksilver, for example, been putting in a lot of work with the character. Also, like, you can use charge shot and like B reverse in very, very cool ways as well. Can be hard to catch the character. Now we're getting to another possibly controversial opinion. I think it might be. But Hero, I don't think this character is nearly as bad as a lot of people say. Like, yes, the frame data is not that amazing by any means. But a lot of Hero's moves are actually silly. Like, yeah, a lot of the specials super silly. The range, the damage, the menu. Yeah, I don't even want to talk about it because it's so... A lot of the things you can get from the menu is so strong. And also with how, like, the menu works. Like, since you don't get up... Let's say, like, Kamikaze is a risk, right? But if you do get Kamikaze one time, then the next time you know it won't show up. So you can, if you want to, like, open the menu and spam the first one. Sure, you could still get, like, maybe one option that is, like, not that good. Like the metal statue, for example. But I think over time, when people get, you know, even better with a character, it probably will be showing. And also the fact that it's the character that can steal the games the most, arguably. Like, sure, you can argue like something like Wario with Waft, but here it's like literally RNG, stealing games sometimes. A lot of good moves. If the character had better frame data and stuff, the character would be super, super good. But still, I think this character is underrated at the moment. Yeah, a lot of people that say just react, these people have no clue what they're talking about. They have no clue what they're talking about. So it's not even worth to fight that argument, because these people, they're set in stone. They're set in stone. Even if, like, you know, the numbers clearly proves that it's not humanly possible to react to, they are still gonna say, ha ha ha, just react. So yeah, I just hope that they are trolling and not actual idiots, but I believe a lot of them actually are. I'll probably rank Ryu here. It will be a bit of a gap between him and Ken. He does fall a little bit into the category, kinda why play him when Ken exists. But he's still a strong character overall. He does have some exploitable weaknesses though. His range is not that good. He's also pretty bad off stage. But damage output can be quite good. But yeah, overall I kind of feel like in by far most cases it's kind of like play Ken instead. But I will also say that my experience against Ken is significantly higher than Ryu. Because every person that I have played against that play Ken, they might have tested Ryu like once or twice against me and then, you know, just go Ken instead. So, yeah, Ryu alongside with like Ice Climbers is a little bit more of question marks. So this was also a character I was like, should I rank the character? I couldn't quite see, but I saw we did get a dono, so whoever donated, thank you so much. I'm gonna make sure to get to your dono message after we're done with the tier list. But thank you so much, buddy. I super appreciate it. Yeah, it's just like I have so many things open on the monitor, so it's like it's very, very small, like OBS. So I couldn't quite read it. But thank you, I really appreciate it. Anyway, let's continue. Yoshi still feels like a underrated character. Still feels like a little bit of an underrated character. Fantastic nair out of shield. Pretty good damage output. His tilts, his up air. A lot of good moves here. His projectile, also quite good. Double jump armor, also good. Yeah, I think Yoshi's pretty good. Could see Marth in this tier. He's also a character that might be a little bit higher, because I think personally pretty highly of Lucina. But yeah, Marth also falls into this like, why play him when Lucina exists? Like, if Marth was better than Lucina by a little bit, you could still argue that, oh, but Lucina is more consistent, so I'll just play Lucina. But when you have Lucina that is better and Marth is harder, it's kind of like, why would I play this character? So I could see him being higher, and it might be me undervalue the character just because of that. And some people might be like, oh, but then don't undervalue him. But the thing is, like, I'm aware that I might be doing it, but I'm also not sure if I'm doing it, if that makes sense. So I'm open to the possibility that I do undervalue him. But for now, I'll probably put Marth here. Yeah, his tipper is like incredibly hard to hit, and it's like not really a lot of reliable ways of doing it either. But yeah, for now we're gonna put Marth here. Damn, it's starting to get a bit hard. That count maybe. Really good sonar. Can be really hard and annoying to get in against for many characters. But I feel like it's very hard for this character. It's very hard for this character to actually kill. Like, it's not only you playing against that count that needs patience, but I feel like that count players also partly playing that way, but also like getting those kills. Like, yes, he does have some like setups and traps and stuff, but if you have duck count experience, I feel like it's very hard for this character to actually reliably get kills, and that's something that hurts the character a lot. That's why I personally feel. But I mean, still good character. Still good character. Well, if people are lurking, let them lurk. Sometimes you want to watch a stream and just watch and not really, you know, respond to like questions and stuff. So if people are lurking, let them lurk. Probably put Ness. Yeah, probably put Ness here as well. Good character. His back throw is insanely strong. Such a good kill throw. A lot of his moves really good. Priority. Main issue, of course, is being off stage. Is clear weakness. His up B is quite a lot better this time around compared to some other Smash games, where if you up B into the wall, you can up B again. And also, when you do the up B, like the hitbox is kind of like lingering behind. So if you time your move incorrectly when you try to challenge his up B, you might get stuck, like get hit by the up B on the back part of it, and then you get hit by like the like explosion or whatever you should call it. So his offstage game is not as bad any longer, but it's still a significant weakness. Weak against two framing. If you do two frame him, it really sets up for, you know, probably, you know, a death. But yeah, still solid character all around. Link I'll probably put here as well. Before, and yes, I'll say before T placed well with Congo Saga, I had for a long time said I think this is one of the most underrated characters in the game. Now it's probably more standard to say that due to his performance. But I think Link is very good, actually. Great range. His Nair, really, really stupid. Some cool tech with his punish game, with his bombs. Bomb for recovery, really good as well. The bomb for ledge trapping, also very good. All around, very solid character. Alright, since people still keep asking, yeah, these characters I said earlier that we probably won't rank, I'll put them here because I'm more and more certain that these three characters won't get ranked. But the rest here will be. AJ named Blue. Thank you for the Prime, buddy. Yeah, rest in peace to those characters. I just haven't played against those characters enough. So that's why. I don't want to rank them when I like basically have no experience. I did point this out a few times earlier. I was like a little bit unsure if I would end up ranking them or not, but yeah, I feel like I shouldn't. Anyway. Greninja, probably around here as well. I know we saw good showing from, not sure how you pronounce the tag. Lee. I probably pronounced it incorrectly, I apologize. Saw a pretty good showing at Congo Saga. But, like, don't get me wrong, the character is good, but I just think every other character is even better. But I mean, the character is quite quick. Sometimes you get, these early kills. The water is really good against some type of recoveries. All around solid character, but yeah, I just think everyone else is even better. Ken, bad range and pretty bad off stage, but besides that, I think the character is very good. Great damage output, can kill really early. Yeah, Ken is actually really annoying to fight against sometimes. But he's good, gotta be careful when you play against this character. And then I was... Focus, I think it's called. Also very good, trying to get out of disadvantage. Not good against multi-hit moves though, but still. Yeah, Ken. Scary character to play against. Terry, new character, so also a little bit of a question mark, but yeah, I feel like he probably belongs in B tier. His go mechanic or comeback mechanic is actually super good. Wait, what was the names of the move now again? Buster Wolf and what's the other one? I'm so bad with names. Terry, here we go. Oh, Power Geyser. Yeah, that move, just sliding across the stage, really good to catch landings. Really good to catch landings. Very scary to jump. Oh no, wait. Did I think of the names wrong? It doesn't matter. The one where he slide, really good catching landings. And the other one is incredibly good for ledge trapping, I feel like. Terry's ledge trapping overall as well, super good. The auto turn makes his ledge trapping even more scary. Often can get a lot of damage and even early kills from ledge trapping. Arguably the best ledge trapper in the game. Not sure if Leffen still thinks it, but I know he talked about it during our boot camp, that he thinks Terry has the best ledge trapping in the game. And I feel like it's a very clear possibility. That's true. Pac-Man, probably around here as well. Honestly, a really annoying character to fight against. It's like against Pac-Man, I feel like it's just certain things you have to accept. Like when he kills you, he will go off the stage, cycle through the items, and then even though you haven't met the ledge, it's not worth challenging him. It's a very weird thing because other characters, if they go to the ledge, it's like they risk getting ledge trapped right? But Pac-Man is kind of like for free. When the opponent has invincibility, you never get anything out of it. And since you know, multiple times a game will have these type of interactions, I think it adds up for quite a bit. Pretty good damage output, really quick nair. At times it feels impossible to edgeguard this character. I know it's not actually impossible, but it's not really a recovery you will edgeguard often whatsoever. Yeah, good frame data. Pretty much all his like moves are very good. Yeah, for now I'll probably put Pac-Man top of B tier, which means that we have A and S tier left. Ooh. Honestly, I'm not sure if this is controversial or not, but I'll probably put Game Watch bottom of A tier. The character is really good, but I feel right now we are in a time period where, sure, Game Watch is getting a lot of attention, but I don't think he's quite as good as Meister might make him look. He do have some really good tools. Uppy out of shield is really silly, for example. Really hard to edgeguard him. He's really good off the stage. A lot of his moves are not reliable to whiff punish whatsoever. But I think Game Watch struggles a little bit when you force him to approach. When you force him to approach, and when you learn that this move is not whiff punishable. I feel like a lot of people, they see Meister do, you know, a certain action, and they're like, oh, I'm going to go in and punish. He gets a spot dodge, and you get punished. A lot of times you just have to accept that you have to play this spot dodge cancel mix-up war instead of getting a direct punish. So I think people need to learn more when they can and cannot punish Game Watch. I think attacking him less so he doesn't get this up B side of shield as much. So basically, I think camping against the character is better. He probably also gets away with his ledge animation. Regular stand-up from ledge is so hard to punish compared to other characters. So it's like a lot of like small little unique things with the character. But over time, I still think it's going to be a very good character, but not quite as good as he might be looking right now. But I'm also open to the fact that he might be a little bit higher. Maybe I overvalue these things I just talked about. I know Meister himself believed the character is super good. I mean, time will tell. But when I played Meister quite a lot at Summit, my impression was approaching less is good in that matchup. Honestly, a lot of matchups in this game. But especially Game Watch. And then when I saw Leo and Meister play at Summit in their final game, Leo literally started playing that way. Not approach, having super high damage, and making Meister attack him. Because Leo had the lead, right? And it looked so hard for Game Watch to actually get, you know, that final hit. And yeah, I think that match alone, a lot can be learned from fighting, like how to fight Game Watch. Final game between Leo and Meister from Summit. I might put Shulk a bit higher. I actually might put him a bit higher. But for now, I'll put him here. I'll reconsider all A tier placements after we're done. But I'll put Shulk here for now. Main reason is not that good frame data for sure. Like, not that good frame data is a relatively big weakness in this game, and other characters above him traditionally have better frame data all around. Still a very good character. All his Monados, super good. But yeah, we'll see. I also feel like camping potential against the character, again. is probably something that should be used more, since his Monados don't last for that long. But still, good character. As we said, Monado's really good. Buster, Smash, Shield, super good. But I mean, I think every character from at least Pac-Man, maybe down to Greninja. Yeah, at least here, possibly here, every character is like super good. So it's not much of a gap between the characters. Pichu, I'll probably put around here. Character is still good. He got quite some nerfs. F-tilt, you know, being not nearly as strong. He takes much more damage, so he's more of a glass cannon. But taking more damage means, like, yeah, you can't camp as good with the character any longer. Two-framing this character is way easier than a lot of other characters, so that's a weakness as well. Dies very early, but I mean, he is really scary still. He's still hard to hit, even though it's a little bit easier now. And his punish game is very good too. So yeah, Peach is very good. It's just that a little bit too glass cannon. A little bit too much glass cannon now. This might be controversial. And maybe I think the new footstool farming thing will hurt Mario more than it will. But I'll put Mario here for now. But it's also a character, could go up a bit, could go down slightly. Overall, really good character. Amazing punishes. Like, honestly, punish game is probably his biggest attribute, I would say. But not... Perpetual Snack, thank you for the 3 months with Twitch Prime. Leo said a footstool thing won't matter much. We'll see. It was still like day one, and it almost sounded like Leo didn't know the tap jump thing, where you can literally hold it up, so you don't even need to like spam. It did sound like that, based on the tweet, if I remember correctly. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. But all around, yeah, Mario, very good character. Not the best range, though, which means some characters can be, you know, a little bit hard for him to deal with in terms of getting in. But as I said, like, all characters, at least down to Pac-Man, super good characters. So if someone is ranked, like, let's say 15 or 12, I don't think it's actually much of a difference. These characters are all super good. Wolf we'll put here as well. Still very good character, but not quite as good as a lot of people used to think he is. I know he did receive some nerfs, but yeah, all around solid character. Great ledge trapping. His laser, or whatever you want to call it, still good. But he is exploitable off the level, even though his recoveries also is not nearly as bad as people say. Because as we said earlier, a lot of people think if a character has a recovery that can ever be edge guarded, that their recovery is ass. Truth to be told, a lot of these people that get edge guarded very, very often, it's just them being bad at recovering. That's the truth. At high level, you're not going to see Wolf getting edge guarded at 50, you know, twice a game. Like, it's very rarely happening. Yeah, Wolf is, yeah, he's pretty good at fighting, like, some of the campier characters, for sure. Well, the thing is, if I made a tier list based on only the current meta, that would basically say that I'm not trying to take my opinions into account at all, and I would literally I would only look at results. Like, you can make a tier list based on results alone, and that's it. But I personally don't think that's the right way of doing it. I think it's a very, very silly way of trying to like progress the game. Because then it's people just circle jerking, saying the same thing. Oh, ha ha ha, this character got top 5 at this tournament, so this character has to be this good. That's how people ended up saying K-Roll, or maybe not K-Roll, but Ike being S tier. Because they're like, oh, but ha ha ha, in this meta, Ike is S tier. The character was never S tier. The character was never S tier. It was just people looking at Leo and being like, yeah, the character has to be S tier because he wins right now. I think it's a very, very silly way of going about it. I'm not saying my list is, perfect or anything, but people current meta thing, I think it's kind of like you are not trying to like figure things out. You see a result from results from tournaments, and that's it. I think it's a very bad way of going about it. That's my opinion. But like, you can see so many cases in like all the Smash games of people picking up characters that was seen as bad, and people are like, oh, we could never have seen this coming. But the people that never ever could have seen it coming are people that are super set in stone with their opinions. I remember when I traveled over to the US for Melee, it was considered impossible to win with Peach in the US. And if you believed anything else, you were an idiot. And that was a game that's been out for like over half a decade at that point, with a competitive scene for over half a decade. And people are like, yeah, Peach can't win. She can't win in the US. She's not good, or good enough at the very least. And then I played one tournament, people were like, wait, what? Like, I could never have seen this coming. Yeah, because all you guys did was look at results. Anyway, let's continue. After this, I'll probably put Chrom. Very good character. Fast, strong, great ledge trapping. Up out of shield. Strong tool too. But yeah, exploitable off stage for sure. So it's like, yeah, that's his main weakness for sure. Honestly, all these characters feel so good. But yeah, we'll put Chrom there. Royal put higher, mainly due to a better recovery in most matchups at the very least. But yeah, a lot of the same strengths, weaknesses, pretty fast, pretty strong. Damn, it's so hard. How many characters do we have left? 6, 12, 14 characters left. I'll probably put Rob. Yeah, as all these characters are super strong. Rob, he is actually the definition of a character that off the level is not even disadvantaged really. It's not worth it to challenge this character. A lot of really good moves. His Nair is super fast, super good to get out of disadvantage. Great setups for ledge trapping to get incredibly early kills with side B. His projectiles, good all around. His backer being slow, some people might see that as a bad thing, but it actually is quite a good tool to use to play around parries, which I think is an underrated aspect in this game at the moment, is to use slower move to throw off your opponent's parry timings. With Inkling, for example, something I do instead of like doing a backer and people try to parry it is to do roller, and then when they let go of shield, they get hit by the roller instead, since they release the shield quicker because they expected a backer. Rob can use similar tech with his backer since it's quite slow, so that's good for him. But I feel like against some characters like Fox, for example, could probably be a bit, you know, like he wants to like wall you out. He wants to be like quite a bit of a distance away from you. So I could see like some rushdown characters being a little bit of a struggle for Rob. But overall, super, super good. Probably Fox next, I would say. Also good character, of course. Fast. Rush down. Good at like once he's in. Very hard for people to get back into neutral against him. Parries, really good with this character. Frame 3 up tilt. Why that up tilt is 3 frames, I don't know, but it is. But off the level, he is, like, you can take advantage of him being off the level. And I think over time, people will get better at edge carding him too. And he also is very light. He's very light, so he dies early. So even characters that struggle to kill will still normally kill him at a reasonable percentage. I'll probably put Mega Man top of A tier. Also great character all around. We do see a lot of different Mega Man players perform pretty well. Great backer. Having a multi-hit move that is strong is really good when you're off the level. So you can often see Mega Man players getting quite a bit of mileage out of it. Pellets and Leaf Shield, really good options too. Honestly, yeah, all around super good character. Pretty much all his moves are really good. And yeah, his zoning, his, defensive game, very strong for sure as well. Kind of unique character, but yeah, I think Mega Man, see him as a strong character. All right. Controversial opinion incoming. Actually, it's not as controversial any longer, but I think I actually might put my own main bottom of S tier. Maybe 2 to 3 spots higher, but Inkling has been falling a little bit for me, sadly, and I'll explain why. Because I normally had Inkling quite a lot higher, but what makes me believe Inkling is not as good any longer is that I totally overrated with punishing in this game. When I started picking up Inkling, a huge part of it is like, up throw up air is really good, right? But I thought that it was going to be easier to land grabs against people. People land with an aerial, for example, and you sneak in a grab. But with punishing in this game is so hard and so unreliable against so many characters that I think you need to get more like raw grabs. And when your opponent knows that and play around it, I think it's so much harder than in a lot of the other Smash games to get a grab. Like if I'm looking to get a grab in a lot of the other Smash games, with punishing is much more reliable, which means that the grab itself is a much stronger option. Even in matchups where Inkling kills with up throw up air, a lot of characters kill Inkling earlier and with aerials that they can kind of spam. And it's like, so you kill me earlier with moves that are more spammable and much harder to punish. If you whiff a grab, you get punished hard, right? But a lot of like moves that people spam, you do not really get nearly as much of a punish on it. So I think Inkling's kill issue is bigger than I initially thought it would be. The character is still really good. You have great ledge trapping. Damage output can at times be good, especially when you get ink, then it's really, really good. You obviously have a fantastic recovery. You have great offstage play, but I think the character is very, very inconsistent with killing. Whiff punishing with multi-jab is more reliable for sure. It's quicker. It's quicker. Like, the jab, yeah, much quicker frame data. So whiff punishing with jab, even though that's still a bit weaker than I thought it would be, I would still say that's strong. But the frame data difference between the jab and the grab, it's like that threshold where it goes from like being pretty reliable to not being. Nah, Inkling does not have frame 6 grab. Her grab is frame 8. So yeah, for now, I'll put Inkling here, but potential to both go up and go down. I'll probably put Olimar next. Still also really good character. His shield thing is obviously very annoying and honestly bad design. And he also got nerfed with like his up smash, for example. But still super good character. Fantastic at racking up damage. Great at playing, zoning game, keeping people away. Pretty good at killing. His recovery is not nearly as bad as people thought. I actually got tricked by this myself, that I played against some Olimars that, good players, but might not have been that good at recovery. Or not might. They were not that good at recovery. So I also believed his recovery was more exploitable than it is. But then when you play against someone like the Bus that knows how to recover, it's like, yeah, it's not really worth it to go off the level with many characters against Olimar. So his recovery being bad is incredibly exaggerated. So it's one of the reasons like I think he's like better again as well. Snake I'll probably put next. He has been falling a little bit for me. Still super strong character overall. Great projectiles. Nikita is probably legit the best edge guard tool in the game, which is very silly because I don't really want to call like standing on stage and doing a Nikita an edge guard, but yeah, edge guarding it can be quite sad in this game. So it actually probably is legit the best edge guard tool in the game. Strong, having a guaranteed kill from grab at 160. Again, getting those grabs are not always easy, but it's still like a plus for sure. Great ledge trapping. And actually the footstool farming thing actually might benefit Snake the most. Possibly. Because he's a character that always tries to recover high whenever possible. So I think that's actually something that might make him go up in the tier list again in the future. Since he's willingly putting himself in a scenario where he's without the double jump as well. So that alone actually might make him like go up a little bit again. Jesus QT, thank you for the 8 months, buddy. Next, I'll probably put Lucina. Also a bit lower for me than last time. I still think the character is really, really good. But yeah, the character actually feels a little bit too honest. Which will hurt the character, I think. Especially on a practical level, where it's very hard to be like super up to date with every matchup. So especially on a practical level where people won't, be up to date with every single matchup, like 10 out of 10. Having no jank really, I think hurts the character a bit. Also don't get really much from grab in many scenarios. Like grab follow-ups disappears very quickly. But I mean, the character is still super good ledge trapping, good off the level, great range, great neutral game. Like, one of the big advantages with Lucini is that I feel like no character actually, like, solidly beats her. Unless I'm misremembering some character. But it feels like the character has a lot of these even-esque matchups, even more so than other characters. So, super strong secondary, I would say. But also as a solo main, it doesn't feel like any character, like, invalidates her by any means. So, super good. Wario, I'll probably put Wario here. Maybe higher, but for now, I'll probably put Wario here. It's funny because when you talk to Tweak, it sounds like Wario sucks, and then you talk to Gluttony, and it sounds like the character is like incredibly good. I am more leaning towards Wario being super good. Waft alone is so stupid. That's stealing so many games. And in a game where punish game for the most part is not super brutal, having that like one move that literally deletes stocks at 0 is I know the waft itself doesn't kill at 0, but you can often from 0 convert into the waft, so you get like a 0 to death. So that's super strong. Bite being really good tool, dealing with people on platforms. Pretty good ledge trapping, fantastic recovery when he has the bike. Like some of his moves feels a little bit iffy at times, where like Nair, for example, doesn't connect properly always. But overall, still a super good character. And even though I don't buy in too much into results, of course, it's like it's not a disadvantage for the character to have multiple people performing quite well with the character. So that's also good for the character, I feel. PT, I'll probably put here. Yeah, I think PT's super good. Squirtle, very hard to hit, small target, one of the best damage outputs in the game. A lot of characters that have similar damage output kind of need to rely on platforms to extend their combos. And even though platforms can help Squirtle, he still has super good damage output, even without the platforms. So that's very good for him. Squirtle's core weaknesses obviously is bad at killing and dies early, but you don't really have to play the character in those regards. Ivysaur does have pretty bad frame data for sure, so that's weak for him, but he does have a decent projectile, pretty good range. Ivy might be a bit worse now though with footstool farming, since upper, I'm pretty sure you can, footstool out of it. So this might hurt the character a lot because Ivy was pretty good at getting these like sharking people with up air to get pretty early kills. So I'm open for the fact that might, make the character worse. Charizard, obviously not nearly as bad as early on in this game. Surprisingly fast. Up smash out of shield being frame 6. Scary ledge trapping. And yeah, overall, character feels super good. Squirtle's jab lock does kill, but it does require your opponent to miss tech. And I wouldn't say if that's your only way to kill, I can't say that's a good one. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that people will never ever miss a tech. Of course, it will happen at times, but I wouldn't say it makes Squirtle good at killing. inconsistently, he can get kills sometimes. All right, we're down to the top 5. We're down to the top 5. I'll probably go with Palu. I actually, for a long time, ranked Palu significantly lower than people, but I think I've had a change of heart. The character is actually so hard to punish in many scenarios. So many moves that are incredibly strong. Nair, back air, up air. Good ledge trapping as well. Back throw actually killing at a relatively decent percentage. Quite fast. And teleports. If you teleport from above, that's also very good. You get edge cancels with the up B too. It's also quite good. Nair being a long-lasting hitbox means it's very good for edge guarding. Yeah, overall, very good character. After that, I'll probably put Joker. Really good character, but slightly overrated, I think. I still think the character is very good, obviously, since I put the character top 4. But I think Leo makes the character look a little bit better than Joker actually is. But still, Arson, especially Arson back air, super good. Also, like, legit one of, if not the best edge guard during the game. Like, you fall so fast, and just looking at how Leo uses Joker back air for edge guarding it's super good. It's obviously him being good at it, but it's also the character that allows for it. But yeah, honestly, all these top characters, they have so many good traits. Could talk about it for hours. All right, we're down. We're down to the top 3. Down to the top 3. I'll probably put CSS third. Also, super good character. Mars Propaganda, not working on me at least. Super good character. Great offensively and defensively. Flip kick, one of the most busted moves in the game. Getting out of disadvantage for free. Even ledge trapping the character is scary because it goes so quick. And that berry starts to, like, truly connect very early as well, even with good mashing. Like, very fast character as well. Main issue is that small characters can be very annoying to hit at times, but I don't think that's enough to make the character, bad by any means. Having her off the stage also with, like, flip kick as well. Really hard to deal with her off the level 2. Yeah, I think this character is amazing. All right, top two. I'll probably put Peach second and Pikachu first. So Isam is happy. Samsora and Mars are mad. It's all right. Let's start with Peach. Peach, obviously super, super good. A lot of her moves fast, good range, damage output, super good. Like her down tilt leads to so much. Conversions from grab. One of the hardest characters to ledge trap in the game, in my opinion. Not the hardest, but one of the hardest. Upper, absolutely fantastic when people are above. Actually, I'm not sure if it's going to be still after this footstool farming thing. Also, I think parry as a mechanic is... Peach is one of the characters that probably benefits the most out of it. Like, Peach historically, like, it's been hard for her to deal with, like, swords and stuff. But I think having parry, it helps a character like Peach a lot. And yeah, floating is really good, obviously, as well. A lot of her moves on shield are super safe. So that's also amazing. And then the whole that you give different damage if you short hop or full hop. Float kind of like ignores that. So that's good for Peach too. And then Pikachu number 1. I feel like this character, like at times it can be annoying to kill with Pikachu, compared to some of the other good characters. But this character is so good at everything else. You can't really edge guard him. You can't really ledge trapping well as well. His ledge trapping Pikachu feels almost like a myth. T-Jolt, super good to get in. And unlike Pichu, he can spam it forever. Quick Attack, super good at getting in quickly. And with Punish People, for that matter, as well. Multiple multi-hit moves. So parry is not nearly as good against the character. Since he's so, like, safe off the level, he can, he can edge guard people quite well. So... yeah, for now, I'll put... And also, he's a small character. So he's also hard to hit. So yeah. He's going to be my number 1 for 6.1. Yes. This is ordered. This is ordered. After like, this part-ish... I probably wouldn't say I feel as strongly about the order, but I've tried to put it in order. But especially S and A tier is in order, and half of B tier. Honestly, all of it is in order, but I feel stronger about it the higher up the list you go. And probably like the bottom 2 tiers as well. But like mid B tier to down to D tier, I feel a little bit less strong about it. But as always, I know some people will be like, oh, see, we can't trust these players. They don't know how to rank this character. How did you rank this one 29th instead of 23rd? But this is my current opinion of the characters. Like, how I look at them now and how I feel like they could progress in the future. So yeah, this is my opinion. But it's so many characters, and I know a year or 2 from now, some of these characters, I probably will think myself, oh, how did I end up thinking this character was this good or this bad? It happens to all of us. But I'm excited to learn more about the game and about the characters. But currently, this is my tier list. Please let me know what you guys think about it. What characters do you agree and disagree with the most?